Hello, welcome to today's edition of Ask Kim. We have a good one today. I really like this question. So let's get started. The question is how to practically live with boundaries without feeling like it's a parent-child relationship and rules. I love that. So boundaries, parents, let's go there. I do not like the parental take in relationships with anyone other than your offspring. It is condescending. It is a relationship destroyer. You are not your spouse's parent. When you think about a parental relationship, parents' job is to guide, discipline, teach, protect. And hopefully that is done well so the child is not resentful. Because when we work with parents, I teach them rules without relationship equal rebellion. Even parenting is not about rules. It's about the relationship. And boundaries or rules for children, they're different. Boundaries with your children are you are not going to have sex in front of your kids. That's a good boundary, right? Or they're not going to disrespect you, call you names. That's a boundary. And rules are dinners at 5 o'clock and you're going to be here for that. So those are more like rules. So boundaries are necessary because they protect you or they protect a relationship. Good boundaries would be like, I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone who is emotionally or verbally abusive. Now, when you set a boundary, you're not setting a limit on someone else's behavior because you have no control. I have no control over whether or not my husband chooses to slap me or to call me a name. The boundary is put in place so that I decide how much I will participate in, allow, or be involved with, what I'm going to tolerate. The consequence has to be me. If my husband does slap me, I'm probably going to pack my bags and walk out the door until he gets some help at the very least. That's what a boundary looks like. Now, if you have too many boundaries or rules, like in our house, we do have rules. Nobody spends more than a certain amount of money without us having a conversation around it. That's a rule. And if that rule is broken, we're going to have a conversation. I try not to have too many rules, and my husband tries not to have too many rules because it can be controlling and too much, and you're too rigid, and the relationship, you're going to suck all the joy and life out of it. You're not going to have the perfect spouse. You're never going to be the perfect spouse, so don't use boundaries and rules to try to get your partner in compliance. Rules help bring structure, so there's not chaos. Boundaries bring protection. Those boundaries, you want to protect the relationship and you don't want the relationship to be abused, worn down, neglected. You use them in a pick your battles kind of thing because you don't want too much going on there that's going to be restrictive. And if you do have a lot, then I want to talk to you about whether or not you have some control issues. So how to practically live with boundaries without feeling like it's a parent-child relationship. As I read that again, what I'm wondering is if your partner has a lot of rules and boundaries in place. And if that's the case, then I would want to know if your partner's controlling, like what's going on there, that there has to be so many rules and boundaries. If you want to live with a partner who has rules and boundaries, or you are the one with rules and boundaries, talk about it. Find out what feels unreasonable to the person and then why. Why does it feel unreasonable? And maybe you are being unreasonable or your partner's being unreasonable. And that needs to be a conversation that has to be had. Most boundaries in a relationship are kind of obvious. If my husband and I sat down and said, what are your limits? What would have to happen around here that would make you want to set a boundary on? I would agree with it and would want it. And I would want it to go both ways. If you're feeling like it's too parental, it probably is. And I would want to know more information on that. I hope that helps. If that doesn't answer your question, send me more information and I'll address it again, either with you individually or on this outlet. So that's it for Ask Him today. If you like what you heard and you want to participate, just send your question to askkim@themarriageplace.com and I will put it on our list of questions I want to answer. If you like us and like the content, I want you to hit the like button, please. It enables us to stay here, to get in front of more people and to be able to keep doing what we're doing. If you hit subscribe, then you get alerted when we put new information out there. In the meantime, remember, you want to raise your love bar, and that is the change for your relationship starts with you. So, until next time.